So welcome to the channel. My name is Paul, also known as the Northman. In today's video we are going to be getting a first look at FM24, as well as going over the latest feature announcements from the first week of features being announced by Football Manager. Now in the background now you can see the Twitter or X post by Football Manager announcing that the Japanese league is going to be active in Football Manager 2024, which is just insane. We as a community, many people love finding them Japanese wonder kids. Many love seeing the Japanese teams, the Japanese kits, which obviously is so iconic and so famous. So the fact that we can now go and manage over there if we fancy a little bit of fun, for me, is something really interesting. I think as a little side save, it's the type of thing that excites me. Now if you are new to the channel, please make sure you do go down and subscribe so you do not miss any content going into FM24 when we start our Build a Nation series. On Road to Glory, I'm a bit torn at the minute between a Build a Nation starting in the lower leagues of Turkey or a Road to Glory starting with somebody like Macclesfield Town in the 7th tier of English football. Please make sure you do comment below your thoughts on what you would like to see on the channel. But we've watched this Japanese trailer a couple of times while I've been talking, so let's move on. So as I say, we're going to get our first look at some screenshots from Football Manager. It's my first look, it's going to be your first look. I wanted to wait until as close to Friday as possible to record this, and each week I will bring you a feature update video just to see what else. I'm glad I did, because just today this Japanese league being added news was confirmed. There was obviously talk about it a few days ago, but fantastic to see that it has been added. But this week's feature release was Smarter Transfers, Squad Building and Finance. Now, people who followed my channel and my old channel in the past will know that financial side of Football Manager, I love delving into finance, making sure my club makes profit, and transfer side, I love my recruitment focus, etc. in the new Football Managers, and just trying to pick up some absolute gems for as cheap as possible. So when I saw the title of this, I was excited to do a video talking about it. So let's work through. Our continued drive to mirror development in the real footballing world makes FM24 the most complete addition in the series yet. Two areas we've worked extensively that powerfully reflect this are recruitment and finance. Better finances, please, more in-depth information. Please give us more information, split things up like your transfers, your clauses, etc. We'll see. On the recruitment front, we've significantly improved the decision-making and team selection capabilities of AI managers. Team selection. Now, people who followed FM23, my AB team where I holidayed 10 years into the future, their team selection was awful. So let's see if they've improved that. You'll also see that your game world better reflects the current trends of real-life transfer market. The current trends, does that mean Saudi Arabia? Players going off Saudi Arabia? Let me know what you think that means below. It's not just recruitment that's been made smarter though. We've also put vast work into upgrading the in-game financial system to ensure that there's greater dynamism and volatility in every career. Okay, I did find it quite easy to make a club profitable even if you're losing money each month generally. We'll see. Brace for more transfer battles. The global transfer market is continuously evolving, and the most recent transfer window was unprecedented in several ways. It's gotta mean Saudi Arabia. So many people going off to chase the money. That's got to be what this means. As a result of the recent global developments, we have made some wider coding changes for FM24 to try and reflect these trends in every career. Okay. Will the trends change in each career? Firstly, to ensure that the way your rivals buy and sell players resonate with a clear identity, we've done a lot of work under the hood to improve the transfer market decision making. Okay, so for example with AB, we were tasked with signing young players. When I left the club, the AI brought in just a load of nearly retired players. Does that mean they are going to actually look to bring in youth players? Maybe. Smarter opposition recruitment is the order of the day for FM24, with AI managers now programmed to consider factors like form and reputation more so than ever before. This will be huge if the opposition within your league structure, other teams you are battling against, might put a bit more effort into their transfers. AI managers are now better geared up to recognise imbalances in their squad makeup and will take their tactical style into consideration much more when shortlisting players. In essence, this means that they'll look to fill attribute gaps in their squad. So, a manager using gegenpress approach will look specifically for midfielders with high stamina and work rate attributes if they determine that their squad is missing such a player. If this works, that could make FM far more competitive. Far more competitive. Their approach will now place a stronger focus on players' potential ability rather than their current ability when players are looking for backup rotation options to an established first-team starter. That could be exciting because you always know if you have a young talent, he'll go off to an Arsenal, a Chelsea, perfect example. They'll never play and then you just sign them back. It's always how it is. The improved logic also applies to outgoing transfers, with AI clubs now making much more considered and contextual decisions concerning loans for you. If it's felt that a player was lacking in terms of physicality, the club will try to facilitate a move to a more physical team to improve that aspects of the player's development. That could be huge because the amount of times you're in League One and Premier League clubs will turn around and go, nah. Or you can have him for 100,000 a month. We can't afford that. No, it's just not possible. So hopefully them aspects will overtake these other aspects, which are just ridiculous. Ultimately, this suite of changes means that your opponents will make more informed, reactive, squad building decisions. It means that you will face more competition in the transfer market and that your rivals will make mistakes that'll feel more authentic and realistic. That's huge. If they've managed to code mistakes, if they've managed to code them actually battling for players in transfer market more, it could be huge. It really could. We can't just vacuum up all that young talent anymore. Variations to player development. Okay, so before it's always been train till 18. Match day is more important after 18. 21, they start to slow down, etc. To complement the change in recruitment decisions of your opposition managers, there are some upgrades to the way your rivals pick their matchday squads. Previously, AI teams were less likely to pick youth prospects in the first team, as we've said, because they had low current ability scores. Now those talents have a high potential, higher probability of being on the bench, and will see more playing time when teams are ahead or controlling games in the latter stages. We also have worked on how the AI prioritise matches throughout the season, which should see an improved rotation to help aid player development. That's insane. If the opposition, if the other teams in your league, other teams in your continent, around the world, can help develop players better, then the coding changes to FM24 are bigger than any feature release. That's huge. Huge. Elsewhere, we've also made a few tweaks to player development. Some will see an accelerated improvement in their teenage years before hitting their potential ceiling early on. Meanwhile, a new system has been introduced to recognise late developers, or those players who don't break through until slightly later that would be considered typical. The other aspect of transfers we made, okay. So late developers, so we think a Jamie Vardy style, didn't come through a youth team, but kicked on in lower league and then pushed on, because that's huge if them players are going to push on more. Because in the past I have picked up players from lower league who've been 24, 25, 26 and they've just not developed at all. It's almost like, no, sorry, it just doesn't happen. I'm loving the coding changes they're making here. The other aspects of transfers we've made amends to is the in-game transfer histories. Here we've upgraded the user interface and given you the ability to filter league transfer histories by ins and outs. Okay, I'd have to see that. Balancing the books. So I love finances in FM. If you haven't already, make sure you have subscribed to my channel for FM24. Let's play, guides, the lot coming. Balancing the books. Connected to the transfer market changes, we've also made several upgrades to the finances system for FM24 to better reflect the way it works in modern football. Across the game, we've added a number of news items and I panic that they've just given us news screens, but nothing's going to be different. That's my first thought there, but we'll see. And improved some existing ones to provide you with a greater clarity of your income and expenditure throughout the season, because quite a lot just is dumped in like other, and it's always drove me crazy. So we'll see what they say here. You'll also notice that key financial information is surfaced more clearly when you need it. In certain instances, when you've overspent your available funds, you'll notice that we've incorporated negative transfer budgets. I like that. If you go into the red, you'll receive an inbox item that informs you that you need to either sell players or transfer clauses in order to generate fresh income. Could they be forcing us to sell players? Examples and candidates for both are included in the inbox item, as it is as a clear indication of how much money you need to recoup before you get a positive budget again. If you're unable to generate enough money within an agreed time period, your board will take control of your budget and begin to sell your players. Okay. Here comes a key player disappearing. The control will then be relinquished back to you when either the cash has been raised or the transfer window is closed. Should you take over a club that's gone a negative transfer budget, you'll face a more challenging start. Okay. So if you go into a club on a journeyman and they are in the red, straight away the board could be selling your players. Now there's the screenshots. Let's just open that up. Okay, the club currently doesn't have enough transfer funds. We have to regain at least 20 million they're going to try to get. You have no clauses to sell, so you would have to sell players, and you are in the transfer window. Now I'm looking around the game to see what's different. You can see there's the purple and orange, yellow here. I quite like that, but is that just because it's a transfer window? Apart from that, what do we have? We have inbox, squad planner, dynamics, tactics, data hub, staff, training, medicine, schedules, competitions, scout and transfers, club info, club vision, finance development centre. Our first look of FM24 and things look the same. Okay. Navigating further financial fair play integration. There are also a number of upgrades in the FFP system for FM24, as well as other national specific finance rules. Okay, so maybe they've dived deeper into some of the country's financial rules and tried to make them work better. Should a club breach FFP rules in game, there are now new sanctions in place, including squad size, transfer spending restrictions, as well as fines and competition income being withheld. If your club is close to breaching the rules, there will be a note in the finances menu to explain that your wage budget is locked. So here's a financial fair play regulation. Board investment maximum 90, you're currently 97 over. I mean, I would say this could have a lot more information on it. That's very little information, really. Like, I would like to, if they're going to move that into our inbox instead of just being a part of the finance screen, please give us a bit more information on that inbox item. Otherwise, we're still going to have to go to the finances, which then means there's no real point of that much, I wouldn't say. You'll now notice that within a club, that when a club is placed in administration, you will see the new news item that shows their net debt, profit and loss graphs. Why didn't you show me that screenshot? Instead of this one, show me this one. Like, this is the screenshot I wanted. Should your club go in administration, you'll be notified that transfer funds have been withdrawn and the administrators will listen and consider any reasonable transfer offers that are made for your players. If you're unable to meet players' wages, the Players Association will step in and you'll be under a transfer embargo until that money has been repaid. Before in FM, you basically could go in the red and nothing really would matter. Now this could mean you really have to balance the books. And you really have to make sure the club is a profitable football club. I'm liking what I'm seeing. A club can also now enter in a company voluntary agreement, a government bond that allows an insolvent company to pay off their creditors over a fixed period while they continue to operate. Okay, so a lot of changes there, I think, financially to almost stop people being able to throw money all over the place and go in the red and it doesn't really affect them. New and dynamic income streams. It's not just expenditure that we've made changes. Now there's greater fluctuation in the income your club receives, thereby creating more dynamism and intrigue in every career. Okay, that makes me think it's big changes every single time. Indeed, you'll now see that we've included a fixed TV length deals. The news items indicate these shows. The news items indicating these show changes in a deal's value and what percentage effect that has on the competition prize money for the seasons the new agreement covers. Elsewhere, there are new news items providing contextual information on parachute payments and details on how your ticket prices and sponsorships have changed based on whether you've been promoted or relegated. There are also new season ticket league table located in the competition overview drop-down. Season tickets, okay, that's nice. So when you go into the league information, you could view income, expenditure, etc. You now view season tickets, which shows the clubs in order of tickets. So I just said that. Okay, so here's the finance one they showed here. So fixed TV length, 1 year. Prize money adjustment is up by 11%, and you can see the differences. Okay. Parachute payments. So it also shows what your parachute payments will be if you got relegated, if you are relegated. But parachute payments are payments made by the division to alleviate hardness resulting from sudden loss of income following relegation. Yeah, so, okay. So the new TV deal in a division above means more parachute payments for the teams who have gone down. This great information is all designed to improve the clarity of how finances work in game. Less money will now be described as general or other. I like that. In the finances menu, and committed spend calculations for further transfers have been improved. Okay, because you used to just be able to fiddle over the next few years and basically get away with it. A transfer over 6 payments over 6 months, in 6 month periods, you could fiddle it. Additionally, loan income and expenditure are now listed as separate from permanent deal. That's nice. So you can see how much money you're making on loans and how much you're spending on loans as well. That's nice. For clubs in lower divisions, they will now turn professional at the point of promotion rather than the end of the season. That's huge. If you win promotion early, you're so restricted trying to negotiate players to come in at the end of the season because you're still a semi-professional club, even though you know you're going to go professional if you go up. So that is huge that they've changed that. Conversely, there will also be more discernible sporting and financial setbacks from now switching back from professional to semi-professional following relegations. Okay. Let's have a look at this screenshot. Following the club's promotion, ticket prices have increased. Okay, this is nice. It just gives you a bit of an idea. So ticket price has gone up by 10% there. Season ticket price has gone up by 3%. Projected yearly earnings, so you can see how much you're going to earn from season tickets. That you could never see. It will tell you how many you're going to sell, predicted another 5,000, for example. You never knew how much money you were going to make until the end. So I like that. I like that. So our most intelligent market yet. The upgrades to the AI squad building and finances system dramatically level up the immersion in FM24, adding a greater variety, dynamism and competition to every career. I love that line. Basically, each career you make, it's going to be a bit different. In the coming weeks, you'll learn more about this year's other features, including a new intermediary role and how they'll help you offload players. The introduction of targets for players, win tackles, win headers. What's that going to mean? Changes to the match engine, a refresh of set pieces. This word scares me. A complete redesign of set pieces is needed. A refresh, and much more general gameplay blogs. Make sure you also sign FMFC, as more feature content will be released. Screw that, watch my channel. So we've had our first look at FM24. Visually, I would say it looks exactly the same. But in terms of the coding changes they have made, when you look at the changes they've made from how the AI is going to do transfers, pick their squad, use young players, I think these changes could be bigger than any feature that's been released for a few years. That it could be huge. It could make the game harder, it could make it more competitive, and it could make long-term saves, which I love to play, insanely competitive and enjoyable for me and for you guys watching at home. The additions financially, hopefully, will be a nice little addition. We'll be able to go in a bit more depth with that once we have the game and say exactly what it is. But from our FM24 first look, I've got to say I am very, very excited to get my hands on Football Manager 2024. I've been Paul, also known as the Northman. Now, see you next week as we continue looking at the feature releases of FM24.